That shit hot. Grab my damn tongue. What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Decaf, and welcome back to our channel. And yes, I say our channel because, again, it's not just about me. It's about all of us and what we can continue to do for all of our Black, queer, trans, and non-binary family to make sure that they feel welcome, seen, and supported in what they do, y'all. So let's talk, let's listen, let's love. And you know, rule number 1, 2, 3, and 4, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe so that you can get each of the episodes every time they drop. And comment, let us know some things that's going on with you. Let us know if you have any recommendations, if you want to share some resources, or you just got some feedback. I take all of it. And before we get started, you see him over here stretching. Just want to check in with y'all just to kind of see how you doing. What's up with you? What's going on? So make sure to drop in the comments, what's been going on in your life. What's some things that you want to share, get off your chest. But since I can't be there with you physically right now, I just want to do our 5-second check-in, to recollect ourselves, to gather our thoughts, relax our muscles, our nerves, whatever you need to do. We're just going to take a 5-second deep breath. Let's start the timer. 5. All right. Up next, we have the song of the show where I try to put y'all on with some real cute music by a Black queer artist, old or new. If you haven't heard it before, then you heard it here first. So today's song of the show was Godspeed by the infamous, the notorious, iconic, and sometimes hidden Frank Ocean. Not only does he make hits for himself, he's also ghostwritten for John Legend and the Queen Beyonce. And he didn't just make it on this list because of his great talent. He also came out as bi publicly in the year 2012, which was around the year that his first studio album, Channel Orange, released, which also reached number 1 on the US hip hop charts.
Wishing you Godspeed, glory. There will be mountains you won't move.
And if you haven't heard enough of that song, you can hear it exclusively on our playlist once you subscribe to the Closet Unlocked newsletter. And you can do that in all of our descriptions across all of our platforms. For today's feature story, whoever you are, wherever you are, I send you my love. Ricky. Imagine being strapped into a roller coaster ride. The stress, the anxiety, the deep feeling that you feel hit your chest each time you go through a new loop or crazy turn. You know how you feel 3 seconds into it because the ride only lasts for 8 as you frantically anticipate that moment being over. Fearing for the extreme of your life or even just the risk of losing something you love. Whew, child. Seriously though, that is what my in the closet experience was like. A damn roller coaster. One of the hardest things for me to do was hide my sexuality from my homophobic family and peers. There were moments growing up where my dad repeatedly let me know that being gay was wrong, and to make things worse, he would sometimes even ask if I was gay, which oddly only made it hard for me to come out to him. When I was at school around my peers, it was the same thing. If you did anything at all that was outside of the norm for a cishet Black male to do, then you were automatically labeled as gay. For me, it was the fact that I did not play sports or had a bunch of girls as friends. Now, since Netflix decided to hop, skip, and jump in their bag, we can explore this concept more visually through the Labels episode of in Black sitcom Moesha. In the episode, Mo goes on a date with Omar, her best friend Hakeem's cousin. Now, while they're at dinner, one of Omar's old friends, who was clearly cast to play the heteronormative view of queerness, pops up and throws Moesha off. Simply from seeing someone's authentic self and how they interact with others of the same sex led her to assume that her date must also be gay. Even though it was not discussed throughout the rest of the episode, it seemed as if Omar eventually came out to Hakeem. This happens as Mo recites a poem at a spoken word night about her assuming she was right about his sexuality. She repeatedly uses the line, "I know what I know, if you know what I mean." Not to critique the show, but we have to. We know when this was produced and written, so it makes sense in terms of the ages viewed on sexuality. More specifically, the negative lens that the public had towards queer folks in the Black community. However, it does not make it right. Visual depictions like this around queer culture made it difficult for our community to be ourselves around anyone. If society says that it is wrong to be gay, what am I supposed to do? I used to try my absolute best to not present myself as or give off any gay vibes. I used to wonder why God made me the way I am. Growing up, I had to hide one of the best parts about myself. I did not think that it was fair that all of my friends had the privilege of being straight and I didn't. Why were their lives better than mine? What did I have to do in order to not feel this way anymore? These were the questions that filled my consciousness as I reflected on my authenticity. The older I got, the more comfortable I became with myself, and the more I wanted to actually begin exploring my sexuality. This then led me to eventually finding my first love, who was also in the closet. Yes, it seemed terrible, but not in the ways that you would think. Why do we have to hide our love for one another when it became so validating to me? To have someone who understood what I was going through was all that I could have asked for. And although being with him gave me a rush, keeping our relationship a secret made me feel as if we were tiptoeing on the thin edge of danger. We knew that at any moment, someone could see us together and out us to the public. Jamal Jordan, a Black digital editor for the New York Times, explores this concept through the art of storytelling. In an article from 2018, he discusses growing up without representation of what Black queer love actually looked like. In navigating our complex journey of finding meaning in how we feel, living in the realness of being queer becomes easier to do when you can see images of yourself in others. One partner from the series, Hassan, shares what knows to be true about Black queer love. I think it's important for Black folks to know that we can come together and love each other in intimate, romantic, and spiritual ways. This is what I found in my boyfriend at the time. Both of us had similar experiences growing up that made our connection even stronger. I had some pretty great times with him. They just happened to be in the closet. One of those closet moments actually happened during his birthday. I was still in high school at the time, so I had one of my friends that were 21 buy us a bottle of Patron. For the obvious reason, I decided to stash it under my bed. This was also the place that I chose to hide the journal where I had confessed to myself about having said boyfriend. You don't even have to tell me. I know. Did I incriminate myself on purpose? Probably. I really thought that I would not get caught by anyone, even though I picked the worst hiding spot. Long story short, my mother found both while I was cleaning my room. She threw the Patron bottle out, wasting my damn money, and then had the nerve to question me about the alleged boyfriend when I approached her. In the true fashion of avoiding the obvious, I lied. I acted as if I was mad and not shocked about what had just gone down. As I headed back to my room, I couldn't help but laugh at the situation. Even though I knew what I lied about, that moment was not meant for me to come out to my mother. It was not meant to provide her with the space to pass judgment on who I was. Instead, at that moment, I did what I needed to do to protect myself and my peace. I had to realize that the opinions of others had no control over who gets sent to heaven or hell. They could not control what happened to me in my life, so that judgment didn't matter. No one has to have a specific coming out moment, but if you do, have it when you are ready. Do not feel pressure to tell anyone your story when they want you to. It's yours to tell. In those moments, it's important to know that we are capable of anything that we set our minds to know that our sexuality will not get in the way of us achieving our dreams, to know that by simply being our authentic selves, we have always been enough. Telling people those stories, those are the ones that matter. Your story matters. For those that would like to share a story, feel free to submit to our anonymous survey through all of our platforms. For those that have submitted a story, thank you for your honesty, for your transparency, and for your courage. Thank you for showing others the strength that is in this journey so that they know that they are not alone in theirs. Thank you for being you and for being here, because here, your story matters.